Hi everyone, today I will be presenting the findings of my research inquiry into the catastrophic impacts of the chemical oxybenzone into the waterways of the Great Barrier Reef. Called home by over 9,000 marine species, the reef also carries a significant connection to the indigenous and traditional owners. The Great Barrier Reef was inducted into the UNESCO as a World Heritage Site in 1981. The Great Barrier Reef covers more than 34,000 square kilometres and stretches the length of 2,299 kilometres, meaning it makes up for the largest coral reef system on Earth. Although the reef is heritage listed, it is under pressure from escalating measures such as ocean warming, chemical pollutants, and a decline in water quality. These environmental pressures are altering the ecological resilience and impacting the natural balance of the ecosystem. Adding to the impacts is an emerging chemical pollutant named oxybenzone, also known scientifically as benzoyphenone 3. Research has shown a significant environmental change and increased concern in light of the toxic waste leaking into the living coral. Oxybenzone is a common chemical found in approximately 70% of sunscreens and personal care products. Through inquiry, I found that within these products, the function of oxybenzone is to protect against UVB and UVA radiation and decrease the risk of skin cancer. Due to the heavy use by humans, oxybenzone leaches into the marine environment through water activities, swimmers, coastal runoff, and water waste. Oxybenzone harms corals and marine life by causing bleaching, DNA damage, decreased reproductive success in corals, and developmental deformities. Within the inquiry research, it was made clear that prolonged exposure to the chemical oxybenzone will increase the mortality numbers in developing corals, while also decreasing the successful settlement of new corals across the reef. A decline in these developing corals will have a profound impact on the biodiversity of the reef. Corals provide the essential habitats, feeding grounds, and the shelter for countless marine organisms. During the major bleaching events of 2016 to 2017, 60% of the healthy coral in the northern reef was lost. This was then followed by a further decreasing in numbers of reproduction and coral cover. This is the call to action. It is the fact that if untreated, oxybenzone pollution will persist, leading to long-term consequences and the potential to lose the reef altogether. Economically, the tourism and fishery industries will decline and restoration costs will only increase, and the cultural and community connection will be further threatened as a result. Environmentally, prolonged exposure will lead to coral DNA damage, bleaching, and a reduction in reproduction across the reef, weakened resilience, diminished biodiversity, and a decline in marine food webs and shelters. Due to this matter, the Northern Queensland Government have begun to introduce the promotion of reef-safe sunscreens, water quality monitoring, and public education campaigns to educate on the impacts. Due to the lack of legal restrictions on oxybenzone, there are minimal efforts so far to reduce or eradicate the use of products containing oxybenzone, and instead it is left up to voluntary discretion rather than enforced regulation. There are only small steps against a very large and pressing matter, therefore it is up to us, the public, to become more educated on the issue which is affecting our coastlines. Finally, to sum everything up, although the evidence states that oxybenzone may save our skin from the harmful effects of the sun and the UV rays, it is also present as a harmful risk to the coral health, specifically on our spectacular Great Barrier Reef. This Australian landmark will continue to decline without proper intervention, stronger calls to action, and enforced regulations. There will be a continued increase in coral deaths, threats to the marine life, impacts to significant cultural and overachieving impacts to the ecological and economic factors of the Great Barrier Reef.